Yeah, right. Well, Boston may have lost the series and the mayor of the bet, but Red Sox fans were not to let their heroes get away without a parade of their own. The diehards gathered in Boston by the thousands along the parade route. City Hall was decked out in appropriate garb. You'd have thought the boys from Beantown had won the World Series by the way they were showered with affection. There were plenty of cries of wait till next year. That's for the 68th year in a row, wait till next year. And there was a touch of sour grapes, too.
You guys have shown a lot of class, a lot more class than those New York fans. They couldn't get me to play in there.
I just got a couple of things to say. First of all, the Mets are just renting the trophy. That's really ours. And seeing all you people here today, you don't know what it means. This is the greatest thrill of the year, no question. And we can't wait to come back here next October. And let me tell you something else. They may have our trophy, but they can keep the Big Apple. We want it right here in Boston where it belongs.
The mayor of Boston declared that his town is still the sports capital of the world. Must be something in the air up there. At least one fan put the best possible face on it all, saying that second place in the whole world is not the worst place to be.
And just in case, this is just in case that you're keeping track, 648 tons of parade paraphernalia fell on the Mets during yesterday's ticker tape parade. It took 400 workers to clean it all up, and while the parade set a record for crowd size, the trash toll was only #2 in the city's history. 1,200 tons of stuff rained down on the Iranian hostages back in 1981. Still, the Mets did break their own record, topping their 1969 day of debris by about 70 tons. Cleaning up this year's mess cost about $70,000 in overtime, and the folks at the sanitation department say they'll be happy to shell out the money every October.
The Mets have a date to meet President Reagan next week, and that has set off some tremors within the administration. Larry Speaks put it this way today aboard Air Force One, quote, "I hope they don't do to the White House what they did to Rusty's restaurant," unquote. That was a reference to a rather raucous party that the Mets held Monday night at the East Side restaurant owned by ex-Met Rusty Staub. Speaks says the president did not make the traditional phone call to the Mets on Monday because the game ran too late. He may have been asleep.
When Ron Darling took the mound in Game 7, he did not know he was being watched by a silent friend in the Mets dugout. On Sunday, an anonymous caller telephoned the Mets offices and threatened Darling. Just to be on the safe side, New York City police dispatched a detective to serve as a combination bench warmer and bodyguard. Darling was not told about the threat until after the game. Later, he took it all in stride, saying those kinds of calls come in all the time.
Lionel Richie loves the roar of the crowd as much as anyone, but the cheers at Madison Square Garden Monday night left the singer off base, at least for a while. The fans were yelling in all the wrong places, like during the love ballads. Turns out a lot of them were hooked up to Walkmans or portable TVs and radios, and they were cheering every time the Mets scored. Well, taking the hint, Richie finally put on a Mets cap, and he would announce the score during his concert each time that the Mets scored in order to let his 20,000 fans go ahead and cheer at the appropriate time. Richie said he didn't seem fazed by the divided loyalties, and in fact, he called the concert one of the strangest and one of the nicest ever.
He is a hillbilly with rockin' roots.